Wilmington's #1 hit music station, Z1075. Brand new Rihanna, that's called Right Now. It's Laura in the studio, joined with another person. We've been talking for about a week and a half now about these cuts that UNCW is proposing to make for these 5 sports teams at UNCW for this coming year. I've had a bunch of people on my show, so we're going to take a little bit of a different perspective today. I've got head coach of the Waves of Wilmington swim team and former alumni and swimmer from UNCW, head coach Dave Sokolowski. How's it going, Dave?
Doing well, Laura. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you so much for coming in. So we've got a couple things that we want to talk about. I know we were talking a little bit off air. You want to touch on just some, in terms of all 5 teams. We want to talk about that for a little bit first?
Yeah. You know, first of all, I want to say I don't believe UNCW Athletic Department should be making any program cuts. There are 5 teams on the chopping block right now. You've got softball, men's indoor track and field, men's cross country, and both the men's and women's swimming and diving programs. I'm most obviously intimately associated with the swimming and diving teams, but we're urging Chancellor Miller to make the right decision and not cut any of these fine athletic programs.
I know we were talking off air as well that, you know, athletics, especially at UNCW, have always kind of been referred to as family, and it just seems like it doesn't seem like the most family-like thing to do to take these sports away. So I know that that's a big concern. What we want to do is also raise awareness that if these sports get cut, it's not only going to affect, you know, the 100 or 200 athletes associated with these sports, it's going to affect the Wilmington community. So we do have some things that we'd like to kind of bring to your awareness. If you're not directly associated with these sports, this is kind of where you can still be affected. So Dave, what did you want to talk about in terms of that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Laura. And I've heard Athletic Director Jimmy Bass say several times, UNCW Athletic Department is a family. Well, I know if it was my family, I would not be one to just throw somebody out on the streets because we come into some tough times. There has to be some different avenues we can look at, some different ways to approach the budgetary crisis they're facing to save these sports programs and find a way to turn it around and make it sustainable in the long run.
I agree. I mean, I think that, you know, I think that there are the teams that are on the chopping blocks are definitely willing to make any kind of sacrifice they can, as long as they can continue representing the university and doing what they love. At the end of the day, that's really what they love. So it just doesn't seem fair to me to take that away.
Oh, yeah, the community support has been absolutely tremendous for all these programs. We thank you guys so much for all your letters, emails, signing the petition. Please keep doing those things. We need all the help we can get. And, you know, we talked about the broader sense of the community. This really does go far beyond just the student athletes that are currently participating in these sports programs. You know, the Waves of Wilmington swim team, we train out of UNCW's natatorium. We have 170 members on our team right now. These kids participate with us on a year-round basis. We are a competitive swim team of USA Swimming. If, you know, worst comes to worst and these programs do get cut, we're really concerned about what it's going to do with the pool. And if that pool gets closed down or gets utilized in some different ways, that's going to displace our entire team. Not to mention, besides that, you've got about 2,000 kids that participate in the Wilmington Swim League. It's a summer league swim program that's been going on for 35, 40 years. You know, they're going to be affected by this. Once you take away the pinnacle of swimming in this community, which is UNCW swimming and diving, how far before the rest of those pieces come tumbling down with it? That's my concern. You look at what the swimmers and divers have done since 1978 in the Seahawks Swim School. They've taught over 33,000 young people the basic water safety skills and how to swim. We're a coastal community. That training and those lessons these former UNCW swimmers and divers and current ones are teaching these young children are invaluable in terms of saving lives in our beach community.
I think that's an absolutely awesome point. I mean, there are, you know, younger children that could be, I don't know, this could kind of prevent them from being able to learn to swim. Also, like you said, with the swimmers, like what are high schoolers and middle schoolers supposed to do? You know, our swimmers walk on the pool deck every day and they look at the record board and they see the times and they see the UNCW swimmers, and it's their dream to someday represent a university, probably UNCW. And it's just, you know, it's shattering a lot of lives student athlete wise, but it's also the future of our community is definitely in jeopardy at this point.
Oh, Laura, you're absolutely correct. You know, just a personal example, I've been through pretty much every phase of the UNCW swimming and diving program. At 5 years old, my mom enrolled me in the Seahawks Swim School. Coach Allen actually taught me how to swim as a youngster. I was on the Waves of Wilmington swim team growing up. We were, you know, involved with the UNCW swimming and diving program tremendously. I taught swim school lessons at age 15. I still taught them as recently as last year. So that's 17 years that I've taught swim lessons at the UNCW Seahawk Swim School. I remember going to meets in high school with my friends and watching these tremendous athletes compete on the weekend meets and just thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to be like those guys one day. They were such an inspiration to me and all my friends and teammates growing up. And it was just such a tremendous joy to swim for Coach Dave Allen, Coach Dan Forrester from 1999 to 2003. And I just really hope that this does not go away for the future generations of kids coming up.
I agree, and I think you've made all valid points. I appreciate you coming in, and the community, this is where it's kind of your turn to act. We do have a Facebook page right now at Save UNCW Swim and Dive. We're active with the other three sports that are on the chopping block. We've got posts from all of those sports on our Facebook page as well. We've also got a website, SaveUNCWSwimmingDiving.org. There's a petition there. There's also a place that you can get involved with donations. You can send letters to the chancellor. You can send letters to the board of trustees. The decision has not been made yet. So we still have a chance to save these programs and really to save the future of the community. So if you could, reach out to us, try to help out your community. If you've got a love for Wilmington the way that all of us do, try to help us and preserve the future of Wilmington. And I'll get all these details on our Facebook page as well. Keywords Z1075 if you want to check them out right there for yourself. Dave, thank you so much for coming in.
Laura, thank you so much for having me. Go Hawks.